Evening, everyone. I wanted to share another chapter of my story. This is going to be one that goes into my work at LA District at the Army Corps of Engineers. Um, so, on the way down from Seattle and going into my new job at Flower and Wilshire, there in LA, at Army Corps of Engineers, I was really excited about this new opportunity um, and getting to meet a new crew, new employees that I would supervise. And so when I got there, it was a great welcoming. Jody, my boss, was very gracious and very kind. But during that first week, it became apparent that things were not as what I had expected. It was very evident on the first day, actually, when they were telling me about how billing charges go for projects, and I was quite intrigued. Their philosophy is a little bit different than Seattle's. So, and unfortunately, in LA District, they have very few funds available to many of the projects. They're all congressionally appropriated. And I was like, okay, well, let's see how this is going to work. And as it turned out, it looks like they have no funds on all of their projects. Literally almost no funds, down to the pennies almost. And I was like, well, how are we going to pay the employees who have to charge the projects? So that was the first week I was grappling how to deal with this. Seattle District had much more funds in order to compensate the employees. But in LA District, they have no funds on the majority of the projects. And as I came to find out in the first 2 weeks, my employees were very upset that they didn't have projects to charge to, because you have to charge the projects. And me too. And I was asked my boss, Jody, and she just said, well, just have them charge to San Paulo project. And I was like, well, I haven't worked on that project, nor have a couple of the employees either. She said, oh, well, they owe us from last year. Just charge it to it. That is a major violation of the Anti-Deficiency Act. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable doing this. She said, well, you all have to get paid. I was like, So it put me in a conundrum. I believe in integrity and honesty. And I wasn't willing to compromise my integrity or my honesty. And so I didn't last in that job very long. I actually went into rehab in order to get away from, I needed it myself, obviously, but it was needed at that time. But to have that pressure put upon you to violate the law, I couldn't do that. I was like, I have too much integrity. I can't do it. So I did what I needed to do to save myself, save my integrity and honesty, and also my health, and go to rehab. So I did that, and was gone for 3 months. only to come back to the office after the 3 months of rehab and find you're in the same situation. Nobody on projects, people screaming and crying in front of you, your employees screaming and crying in front of you, saying they don't know how they're going to make their next paycheck and how they're going to charge to a project. I was like, well, things don't change. So that was another complicating factor and a factor that led me to leave the government. I went into one meeting, one of my last ones, actually the last one, and I went into the meeting with 20 people around the table, and one of the other directors was talking during this meeting, but comes behind me and says, well, this is my brain on drugs right here, pointing at me. I should have got up and filed a complaint at that immediate time. I just got up, walked out of my office, and left. So, for those of you out there in the world that have ever come across a situation like this, I would love to hear your feedback, because I couldn't believe the individual came behind me in front of 20 other people and said, well, this is my brain on drugs. I just gotten out of rehab, was trying to recover, and you get this. And I'm going, this is not a good work environment for me. I will go ahead and just resign, which is what I did. Everybody's called me crazy for doing that, leaving a government career at a GS13, making good money and everything, all the benefits. But you come to a point where you can't tolerate the abuse either at home or at work. And once that individual came behind me in front of 20 other people and said, and this is my brain on drugs, I got totally offended. I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't tolerate the work environment. It's a harassment environment to me. So I resigned. So I just want to share that part of my little bit of a story with you all. And we'll share more in a little while.